you say, the chance to top the group and avoid some of the bigger teams in the next round. We're ready to get underway. Barcelona kicking from left to right as we look, and let's see how Espanyol can do here. They are massive underdogs in this match, but we've seen some shocks. It was only a month ago that Celta Vigo came here and won 1-0, so it has been done before. Can Espanyol pick up a win this afternoon against a very, very strong Barcelona side? They have a throw down on this near side towards Caicedo, tucked away by Sergi Busquets and cleared by Eric Bailly. Bit of a surprise that no Carlotto this afternoon in the central defence.
Yeah, it's a big surprise. He's not only one of their strongest men at the back, but also one of their main threats on set pieces. He's popped up scoring a few goals this season. I'm surprised he's gone for the youth of Bailly alongside Alvaro. We'll see how it works against the lethal attack of Barcelona.
Here's Salva Sevilla playing that ball to Victor Sanchez, and there's plenty of space in front of the Barcelona defence. There's a chance here for Caicedo. Played the ball into the centre quickly, not cleared convincingly. Finally Sergi Busquets gets it away, and now it's with Neymar. Neymar has Suarez ahead of him to his left. At the moment he doesn't need him, goes alone, but plays in Suarez. Messi lurking right side, but the flag had been raised. Luis Suarez in an offside position. Early scare for Espanyol on the break, but plenty of room there Espanyol found in front of Barcelona's defence.
Yeah, 1 minute in, it's quite surprising to have found such a big gap, and they could have really exploited it. The shot wasn't the best of shots, saw the crossing from Caicedo, didn't find the final destination. You know, that's the first warning sign for Luis Enrique's men.
Luis Enrique, the jury's still out really on his first season in charge at Football Club Barcelona. I think most people apportion blame towards Zubizarreta for his signings rather than anything Luis Enrique's done, but won't be just until the end of the season when we see what Barca have or haven't won. Here's Mascherano. Forward to Gerard Piqué. Messi coming deep for the ball. Plays 1-2 with Rakitic. Out towards Jordi Alba. Now with Neymar. Alba's continued his run. Here's Messi. Back to Neymar. But Bailly clears the ball. Forward to Sergio Garcia. So I suppose it's the big hope for Espanyol, isn't he, this afternoon, if they're going to get anything from this game.
Yeah, but I'd say he's probably Espanyol's main threat up front, although looking at the stats before the game, it's interesting to see he hasn't scored against Barca in all of his 11 games. I know stats don't mean anything, every game's a different scenario, but looking back on that, there's not much confidence you can gain from it.
Slightly surprising, and maybe a good job that Caicedo and Stuani, if he comes on in the second half, they both have broken their duck against Barcelona. Xavi's ball forward towards Luis Suarez, tangling with the two Espanyol central defenders, and it's Eric Bailly, the Ivory Coast defender, who clears for Barcelona. Only as far as Piqué though. Busquets back to Javi Mascherano. Out to Jordi Alba. And now with Gerard Piqué, who after having problems earlier in the season with Luis Enrique, differences of opinion and being left out of the side, and even the squad, seems now to be back as the #1 choice alongside Mascherano, although we wait to see what happens against PSG, whether Mateo comes back in. Here's Dani Alves. Nicely flicked on by Leo Messi. One flick too many though from Alves. He does win the throw though. I was reading today that Luis Suarez has a great record. That was the way the Catalan press were depicting it in derbies, and then you read his record. It was not that great. He didn't lose any Merseyside derbies, scored a few goals, but I think it was a mixture of wins and draws. This will be a strange derby for him, of course, because there are no away supporters. He won't be used to that in derby matches. Yeah,
coming from Liverpool in the Premier League, it's a completely different kind of game to the Merseyside derby. Not even near as intense as one of those games. And obviously, as we said before, a lot more one-sided, which could mean also a bit more pressure because Barcelona have to win. I mean, they're expected to win this game.
Absolutely, and Espanyol will defend deep, and there won't be a lot of room for him. It won't be end-to-end stuff as he would have experienced in those Merseyside derbies. Jordi Alba plays the ball inside to Sergi Busquets. It's now with Rakitic. Forward to Messi. Has he fouled? Yes, says the referee. taken quickly. Busquets out to Jordi Alba. Now with Neymar. Neymar looks for Suarez. Suarez tries to send that back to Neymar, but Espanyol can come away with it. But an early pattern is that when the ball's pinged forward, there's no one there to hold it up for Espanyol. Here's Rakitic. Now to Jordi Alba. Now with Mascherano. Rakitic has Dani Alves to his right, Messi in support. Messi to Busquets. Rakitic with the cross, Luis Suarez poised at the far post, but good defensive work, and Espanyol get the ball away. Alvaro Gonzalez with the clearing header. Well, he's spoken, Suarez, about the fact that he's only scored once so far, and he says there's no problem all the time the team is winning. It will become a problem if the team stops winning, and he's still not scoring goals. Xavi's corner, cleared at the near post by Arvilla, the former Rayo Vallecano fullback. Sergio Gonzalez, of course, played for Espanyol. Up against Luis Enrique, who, of course, played for Barcelona, so they both know all about the derby. Back in the day when it was slightly more evenly matched affair. Flicked on by Sergio Garcia towards Caicedo. Espanyol win the throw, which Arvilla will take. Sevilla. Cross comes in from Fuentes. Can't get past Dani Alves though. Victor Sanchez. Salva Sevilla. Sergio Garcia pulls it across the face of the area, and that was very nearly the first goal of the game, and it very nearly went to Espanyol. Sergio Garcia allowed to reach the byline. Very dangerous cross. And I think it was Lucas Vázquez who came sliding in very nearly to convert an early scare for Barcelona. Xavi Hernandez forward to Rakitic. Messi back to Rakitic. Well, Espanyol will be more than happy with their start.
Yeah, in these first 8 minutes, well, we can see a reflection of what the game's probably going to be, with Espanyol sitting deep, Barcelona playing the ball around patiently. But, you know, they've given them a warning with those counter-attacks, and Sergio Garcia was allowed far too easily by Alves to put that ball across. I'm sure Caicedo, if he gets another invitation, he'll be lurking.
Felipe Caicedo, of course, was at Manchester City not so long ago, never broke through there. Made a name for himself at Levante. Gerard Piqué's long ball out to Jordi Alba, back to Neymar. Neymar tracked by Vázquez. Still the Brazilian, he finds Rakitic. Rakitic finds Messi. There Messi almost threads that through for Jordi Alba, who goes down inside the area. It was Xavi, not Jordi Alba. The referee waves away any appeals for a penalty. I don't think even Xavi's that convinced, do you?
I think he's half-heartedly asking for something there. He looked like he slipped, to be honest.
Well, we saw a strange penalty last night at the Santiago Bernabeu when Ronaldo went down really without anyone, certainly not pushing him, maybe a touch on the back, but a very lucky penalty for Real Madrid. Here's Mascherano. And of course, Real Madrid last night, winning that game, equalled the record set by Frank Rijkaard's Barcelona of 18 straight victories.
Yeah, they look unstoppable right now, to be honest. I mean, they're not winning games 1-0 or 2-0, well, except for that Malaga game away from home, but the majority of those games have been a bit of a whitewash. I really can't see anyone stopping them.
Here's Neymar. Neymar very nearly playing in Xavi. Headed away by Caicedo. And one back, courtesy of that Busquets challenge, but the referee says that the challenge was illegal, Mr. Iglesias Villanueva. I suppose the only thing that might put a spoke in the wheel is if they start getting injuries. It does seem that players are picking up knocks, doesn't it? They're already without Modric now. It looks as if James Rodriguez will miss the World Club Championship.
That's another thing, the World Club Championship. How will that affect players? Fatigue. And then they've got, in January, they've got quite a tough calendar. I haven't got it in front of me now, but they've got, I think, Atletico Madrid away.
Well, Valencia's the first game back,
isn't it? Valencia, then they've got the Cup, which could potentially be 2 games against Barcelona in the semis.
Nicely done by Jordi Alba. But they've not been shy coming forward, Espanyol, that's for sure. They've had their chances in the opening 10 minutes. Still 0-0 here. Yeah, as you say, the World Club Championship is often a problem for teams, and not great having to play Valencia and Athletic Bilbao in the first month back. And the cup draw has not been kind to them because, as you mentioned, it will be Barca in the semis, and before they even reach the semis, they might have to play Atletico Madrid twice.
That's right, yeah. So January could be a real test to see where Real Madrid are and where they could get towards the end of the season. If they get through that, I'm sure, well, I'm not going to say they're going to win the league, but I'm sure they get through January unharmed. They've got big chances of winning back that league title.
Absolutely, and maybe even becoming the first team ever to win the back-to-back Champions Leagues.
Well, that's always been there. It's always seemed like Barcelona of Pep Guardiola looked like they were going to do it. Bayern Munich looked obviously like they were going to do it. When teams look set out to win the Champions League back-to-back, something always seems to happen. That's the magic of that tournament. But it will be a tall order for anyone to knock out Real Madrid.
Sergi Busquets out to Dani Alves. Yet another season has made the right-back position his own. Luis Enrique doesn't seem to think much of Douglas, the Brazilian signing brought in the summer. He doesn't seem to like Martin Montoya either. So it's Alves or Alves. Here's Busquets. Under pressure from Caicedo, and he's made a mistake. There's no foul. What can Espanyol produce here? It's 2 against 2. Caicedo continues his run. Sergio Garcia has the ball. Sergio Garcia shoots, and they've taken the lead. Espanyol are in front, and it's the mistake from Sergi Busquets. Just about 13 minutes on the clock, and the visitors, the local neighbours, the poor relations have taken the lead.
Well, we said it moments ago. It's a typical curse, isn't it? The commentator's curse. Sergio Garcia hasn't scored in 11 games against Barcelona. We were saying there was nothing he could draw from that. And he's popped up, as he did last week, pretty much with a lot of work to do. He took on Busquets, took on Piqué, I believe it was. We'll look at it here. Well, first of all, obviously, Busquets caught in no man's land, sloppy. But Garcia had a lot of work to do from here. He had Piqué, he had Mascherano, Caicedo doing the run to get rid of Mascherano. But that's a brilliant finish, and that's why he's a top draw player. He's a top quality player, and Espanyol really have to look towards him to get anything out of this game.
Well, it is forgotten that back in 2008 he was in the squad that finally gave Spain a trophy. Luis Aragonés in charge, and as you say, lots of talent. He is their talisman, and well, the more you see it, the worse it looks from Barcelona's point of view. The mistake from Busquets, then Piqué failing really to prevent the shot getting past him, and Bravo beaten. So it's Espanyol 1, Football Club Barcelona 0.
Looking back at the goal, actually, Sergio Garcia didn't really do too much to beat Piqué, did he? He just turned to the side. There wasn't any step overs. There wasn't a turn of pace. Piqué just almost let him, take it on his left foot, have a shot. And I think Bravo, we could ask maybe a bit more of him as well. The ball wasn't right on, towards the post. I think it was a little bit central. So there could be a few question marks on Barcelona's defending there. But a brilliant finish, otherwise, from Sergio Garcia.
Barcelona lose possession again. Here's Sergio Garcia wearing the captain's armband. this afternoon, and he's certainly leading by example. And the whistles around the Camp Nou are for sustained possession for Espanyol. Here's Xavi with space to run into. Neymar to his left. Suarez playing very centrally in the first 10 minutes of this game. Didn't start off that way. First few games played on the right. Messi continued to play through the middle. That seems to have changed in the last couple of matches. Here's Xavi. Out to Piqué. Now with Leo Messi, who's picked the ball up quite deep in these opening stages. That's a nice pass down from Xavi. Neymar didn't read it in time, though. Wasn't able to get on the end of it. Role reversal there with Messi floating the ball into the area and Xavi on the receiving end of it. Here's Neymar. Rakitic. Out to Dani Alves. Now Suarez has peeled off to a position wide right, and Messi is playing through the middle. Here's Xavi. Well, they've got their goal now, Espanyol. They can afford to line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up along the back with 3 players in front. Mascherano's pass to Xavi is easily intercepted, and Espanyol can come away with it. Goes beyond Salva Sevilla, though. Rakitic almost releasing Neymar. Arbilla makes the clearance.
Well, Espanyol more than happy to sit back here, and as we all know, Barcelona don't normally have a plan B where they play the ball forward to a sort of old-fashioned number 9 forward. So they can all sit back in the middle and see if Barcelona find a way to break through them. Spark of magic from Messi would be the only key to get through a 6- or 7-man defence.
Well, there is Messi now on the ball, plays it to Rakitic. Rakitic to Xavi. Sergi Busquets. Xavi back to Gerard Piqué. Piqué thinks about the pass to Alves, but it's now with Xavi. Nicely done by Suarez, but doesn't reach Messi. Away to Piqué. Well, it could be a very good week for Barcelona if they win this game and then beat PSG to top their group. It could also be a terrible week if they lose both those games.
I'm sure the jeers have been directed towards Zubizarreta and Bartomeu will only increase by losing what is one of the most important games for Barcelona on the calendar, the Barcelona derby, and more so at home at the Camp Nou. So a lot of people putting their neck on the line with this game.
Rakitic back to Messi. Suarez complaining that the foul wasn't given. The ball over the top from Messi runs far too close to Kiko Casilla, who, it has to be said, has not had a save to make yet. The goalkeeper who's frequently rumoured to be on his way back to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have a €10 million option on him. You'd think that with Navas and Casillas, they wouldn't be recruiting another goalkeeper, but
it's difficult to get inside the mind of Madrid's business decisions, you know. They always think they don't need this player, but they bring him in.
It usually works, doesn't it?
It usually works. We're all surprised to see Keylor Navas on the bench this season.
Yep.
Goalie of that quality. It looked like Casillas. Casillas' days were over. But, you know, Real Madrid like to have a strong and depth in their squad. They like to have 30 or so players in their team. So, you know, I wouldn't rule it out.
Well, it's strange that 2 of the best goalkeepers in the World Cup, Navas and Ochoa, both moved to La Liga clubs, and neither of them are playing any football.
In Ochoa's case, looking at Khomeini's recent performances, I'm sure he'll have to wait a little bit longer to get in there. But as you say, they're both standout goalkeepers at the World Cup, and you know, surprising to see that they haven't really been given a chance, because they haven't had a run in the team. They've been given cup games or the odd Champions League game in the case of Navas.
Caicedo flicks that one on. Here's Mascherano. Rakitic back to Gerard Piqué. Rakitic again, but going backwards, Rakitic. No driving force at the moment in the Barcelona midfield. Busquets forward to Neymar. Neymar has been one of the brightest players at the start of this campaign for Barcelona. Has already scored more goals this season than he managed in the whole of last campaign. He's brought down by Caicedo.
Well, I think so far Barcelona, as on many occasions when they go down, are looking a little bit too predictable. Playing it from side to side, almost like a handball team. And as you mentioned before, Casilla hasn't had to do anything so far.
Alves to Sergi Busquets, looking to make amends for his mistake. The shot comes in from Xavi, but it's a long way over the bar. Well, there was an interesting article in a British newspaper in midweek, written by Paul Scholes, no less, who said that he watched Barcelona against Valencia last weekend and they looked bored. Messi looked bored, they looked very staid and slow, and as you're saying, Bruno, really predictable. And it is a problem for Luis Enrique. And Caicedo looks to have a problem as well. He's not moving too well down there. The two benches this afternoon. There's plenty on the Barcelona bench should Luis Enrique see the need to make an early change. Pedro, Iniesta and Munir, as well as Rafinha, and the defenders Adriano and Mateo. Not quite the luxury afforded to Espanyol, who have Victor Alvarez, Stuani, Abraham, Hector Moreno, Javi Lopez and Colotto. And rather unsporting whistles all around the stadium as Caicedo hobbles off. Presumably because he's taking so long to leave the pitch, but all the same, if he's injured and can't continue, then Luis Enrique not looking too happy.
Caicedo certainly looks in no rush to get off the field, does he? But he'll enjoy those jeers as long as his side are 1-0 up.
Well, he's played a big part in that. He hassled Busquets to create the opening for Sergio Garcia, which Sergio Garcia took advantage of. Xavi back to Gerard Piqué. And still a very, very flat, as we reach the halfway point of the first half, performance from Football Club Barcelona. Here's Dani Alves, forward to Leo Messi. Alves, Caicedo has run back on, having limped off, so that perhaps justifies the booze. Here's Rakitic on the penalty spot. Couldn't bring it down. Just squirmed away from him. Real opportunity for Barcelona.
Brilliant reaction from young Bailey as well there. Quick to cut out the threats from Rakitic, justifying Sergio Gonzalez's trust in him.
Good defending from Espanyol. One of the first times this afternoon they've really been tested. Busquets to Rakitic. Rakitic to Neymar. Back to Xavi. Xavi now to Piqué. But it's all very sideways, as you've already mentioned. Not a lot of incisive first-time forward passes, forward diagonal passes that used to be Barcelona's trademark. Here's Jordi Alba, back to Xavi Hernandez. Messi tries to play the wall pass with Neymar, but Salva Sevilla intercepts. They have it back though. Here's Rakitic. Rakitic almost through to Neymar, but good solid defending from Espanyol. And the point you were mentioning earlier about Sergio Garcia's goals against the Barca, or lack of them. He scored 82 goals in all competitions, and that, as you say, was the first one against Football Club Barcelona. Here's Rakitic. Neymar. Still Neymar. And it's been the pattern of the first 25 minutes, really. Didn't release it quickly enough. Ran into trouble. Espanyol were able to clear. Here's Xavi. Good pass out to Dani Alves, who just about keeps it in play. Alves to Rakitic. Rakitic finds Alba in space. Early cross needed, but it was above and beyond both Suarez and Xavi. Here's Rakitic. Xavi thinks about dropping that one over the top. Alves had made the run, but Xavi couldn't get his pass past the first Espanyol player. Here's Busquets. Dominating possession, Barcelona, but not doing a great deal with it. Here's Xavi Hernandez. Piqué, sideways ball to Mascherano. Messi. Well, I think he wanted to give and go there, but it wasn't really on, and Suarez went all the way back to Mascherano. Here's Jordi Alba. Back to Neymar. Xavi Hernandez to Leo Messi. Crowded out though, it drops to Alves. Chance for Suarez, but it just ran away from him. Looks down at the Camp Nou pitch. I'm not sure there's too much wrong with the Camp Nou pitch, but it just came at him a little quickly, and he couldn't kill it with his first touch.
It's worrying for Barcelona that in that move, Suarez probably touched the ball for the first 2 times in the last 20 minutes or so. Most of the plays going through Neymar on the wing. And Suarez is a bit of a static figure at the front. And if they want to create some threat, maybe they should try and bring it out to the wing of it, try and get him on the ball a bit more.
Well, the original plan, wasn't it, was to play Suarez and Neymar as the highest two, as the two highest up the pitch, have them slightly wide, and Messi to fill the old false 9 spot that he's been doing for a long time, but that seems to have been scrapped in the last 2 games. And Suarez has been through the middle, and as you say, often finds himself very static without a lot of space to run into. He might get on the end of this one though. It's hooked away by Eric Bailly. Busquets.
So if we look at it here, we can see again Suarez, Messi and Neymar all in the middle, quite close to each other, and it gives Barcelona not many options on the wings. I mean, we've got Alves pushing forward and Alba pushing forward, but they're not stretching the Espanyol defence.
Making it very easy at the moment, and this is a good run from Casado. If he can find Sergio Garcia, who's in plenty of space, can he get his shot away? He does, but it's a tame effort, and Claudio Bravo makes the save. But dear oh dear, Barcelona ineffective at one end and not looking too convincing at the other end. Here's Neymar. Neymar to Messi. Suarez is now out on the left-hand side. Messi goes through and is brought down. Salva Sevilla is probably going to go into the book here, which is probably why he's making such a fuss about the protest, because not too sure that he can have any complaints there. Although Messi does have a smile on his face, so let's have a look at the replay. No. Free kick, leaves the area and a yellow card. Messi, I'm sure, will fancy this. And with options limited in open play, this might be the best chance that Barcelona have got of getting themselves back into this.
No, what you mentioned before, I was just thinking now on Espanyol's attack, Paul Scholes' words won't be too nice this week towards Barcelona if he's watching this game, because that defence just gets split wide open every time and time again. I'm sure every side in the Champions League, all the big names will be looking at this and thinking, I wouldn't mind going against them in the last 16.
Messi and Xavi over the ball. Messi's not too happy about the distance. The wall is back. Jordi Alba is also complaining to the referee that the wall is not back far enough. So Messi with the left foot. Xavi is also over the ball. Almost half an hour played here in the Camp Nou. Espanyol beating Barcelona by 1 Sergio Garcia goal to 0. Leo Messi strikes that off the crossbar. comes down into a crowded penalty area. Sergio Garcia, I should say, brings it away for Espanyol. A real opportunity that for Barcelona to get themselves back into the game.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, Pete, if they're going to score a goal, it's going to have to be from a set piece, because by the looks of things now, they're not really going to make much from open play. But that's fantastic strike from Messi, as you'd expect from one of the world's greatest players.
Well, Messi's been breaking records left, right and centre recently. But all around him, all is not as it should be at Barcelona. Here's Mascherano. Out to Jordi Alba. Neymar steps away brilliantly from Arvilla. Jordi Alba can't do the same up against Lucas Vázquez. Piqué. Sergi Busquets. Xavi Hernandez. Out to Jordi Alba. Luis Suarez. Miscontrolled by Neymar. It's just not working at the moment, is it, that front three? It's Rakitic. Gets it back, Rakitic. And again from Alves. Slightly heavy the pass if he can pull it back. But good defending. And it's out for a Barcelona corner. Should be taken by Rakitic, the second of the game for Barcelona. The header comes in from Piqué and comfortably taken by Kika Casilla.
Probably one of the first corners Barcelona have got ahead to in previous games,
well, their record
this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Their record from corners is pretty atrocious. They took over, I think it was over 100 before they scored from, before a goal came from a corner. That was against Valencia, and even that wasn't really directly from the corner. Caicedo goes down under the challenge from Busquets. And just as a comparison, Madrid have already scored 10 goals from corners this season. This is a great run from Neymar. And a good tackle as well from Alvaro Gonzalez.
Well, you can see players like Neymar, especially Neymar, enjoy much more when Espanyol push a bit forward on attack. They can sort of catch him on the break. He's got more space to play with and run at them, and he can make the most of his potential in those sort of situations.
Suarez receiving from Mascherano, but his first touch lets him down. Nicely taken down by Sergi Busquets. Here's Xavi. Messi. Nicely done by Leo Messi inside the penalty area. Leo Messi, and the shot in the end trickles through to the goalkeeper. But already we can see that Messi's made his mind up that he's going to have to go it alone here. And he does exactly that. Goes past Salva Sevilla and also past Fuentes. But across comes Eric Bailly, who's made a good start to this game, and no chance of getting a decent shot away. Here's Luis Suarez back out on this right-hand side, finds Rakitic. Rakitic to Messi, and the intention was to play in Suarez again, but intercepted. Fuentes gets it forward for Espanyol. Here's Caicedo, intercepted by Mascherano. Suarez to Messi. Back to Luis Suarez, just slightly beyond him. And the flag was up anyway.
And more promising signs here for Barcelona, though. Messi getting more on the ball. That run he did before, looking like the Messi of old. And here linking up almost. Suarez going a little bit too early. But it's promising to see those players linking up together. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. That's what they're going to need if they want to turn this game around.
Just over 10 minutes to go before half-time. And the score that nobody expected. Espanyol winning here by 1. Sergio Garcia goal to 0. And we haven't seen too much from Barcelona. Messi's hit the crossbar from a free kick, but in open play they've found it very difficult to get through the massed ranks at the back for Espanyol. Here's Caicedo, plays in Sergio Garcia. He's got to Sanchez, up in support. The cross was a dangerous one. No one getting on the end of it. Claudia Bravo wants to take the goal kick as quickly as possible.
Once again, every time Espanyol attack, it almost looks like they've got one man more than Barcelona. It looks quite easy going forward. And that's something Luis Enrique is going to have a talk at half-time, because let alone, they're not going to have to think about going 1-0. They're going to have to worry about not going 2-0 down in this game.
Messi back to Xavi. Xavi Hernandez back to Sergio Busquets. Rakitic. He's got Alves in support, but it's 3 against 2 down in that right-hand corner, which it seems that way all over the pitch, but this is a little bit different. Luis Suarez just wide, pulled back to him by Xavi Hernandez. He dragged his shot slightly wide. Rakitic's pass finding Xavi.
I think Xavi might have had a better option to shoot there. We all know that his mind's almost always set on passing the ball more than shooting. But I think if he had taken that on, he had a better option than Suarez.
Once again, nervous defending from Barcelona at the back. Here's Mascherano. Well, he's getting forward far more than perhaps when he was at his peak, really, Xavi Hernandez. He's been in the penalty area a lot in this first half. Here's Gerard Piqué. Forward to Rakitic. Messi. Messi to Neymar. But once again, Neymar's tendency to go infield and towards the blue and white striped shirts and then lose possession. Gerard Piqué. Xavi Hernandez. Alves half showing for that ball over the top, but it's all very predictable and very easily read, and all the opposition need to do is make sure that their wide midfielder tracks Alves and stays in front of him, and the danger is cleared. Here's Sergio Garcia trying to play the ball forward to Lucas Vázquez. Bit of space now for Jordi Alba to run into. Caicedo comes across, ball out towards Neymar. Neymar goes past Caicedo, who possibly is still feeling the effects of that knock that he got earlier on. Here's Rakitic. Messi. Messi to Rakitic. Rakitic's pass back to Messi. Takes the rhythm out of the game, out of the move. Really, there's a chance here. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. It was Neymar coming in at the far post, was it? Well, it's a good stop from Kika Casilla, and it's Jordi Alba running on the blind side. He's been brilliantly picked out by Messi, but he can't provide the finish.
Well, that's what we were saying before, that only a bit of magic would be able to get through a defence like this, and that was a fantastic ball from Messi, but also a brilliant run by Alba, timed perfectly. He almost put it under Kiko Casilla.
Well, slightly better from Barcelona in the last 10 minutes or so. Suarez thought that the throw-in was for Barcelona. It's not. It's an Espanyol throw. That man there might well be featuring in the second half. If he's anywhere near match fitness, they need some inspiration. Barcelona. Down goes Messi after that clash with Eric Bailly. Mid-camp not happy, but play continues. Salva Sevilla puts the ball out of play.
Well, I'm against those sort of situations. I reckon you've got to keep them playing until the referee stops play. I mean, sure, Messi's down. The Camp Nou's giving you a hard time, but you've got to play on. And more, when you look at that, Bailey's tackle's fair. You know, he's clashed with Messi, but he's got the ball miles ahead of him.
Absolutely. Not even a foul, an Espanyol.
I've had to kick it out of play just because they felt the pressure from the stadium. I just think you've got to keep playing and don't listen to what everyone's jeering or whatever.
Absolutely nothing wrong with Messi, and as you say, the advantage is completely lost. You'll have the free kick, which is taken by Bailey. Busquets wins the header. Xavi out to Jordi Alba. He's got Neymar ahead of him. 5 minutes to go before half-time. Very disappointing first 45 minutes for Barcelona so far. They've won a free kick. Xavi to Busquets. Here's Leo Messi. Messi picks out Alba. Alba to Neymar. Here's Xavi. Back to Mascherano. Towards Jordi Alba with the cross, but comfortably cleared by Álvaro González. Back to Jordi Alba. Here's Mascherano. Everyone inside the Espanyol half. Just gets forward to Rakitic. Again, Suarez made the run, wanted the early pass. It wasn't played to him. Slight frustration already showing from the Uruguayan. And again, Neymar trying to thread that through the eye of the needle. Espanyol come away. There's a chance here to make it 2. It's Victor Sanchez. Out comes Claudio Bravo, makes the save. And what an opportunity for the former Barcelona midfielder to, well, I wouldn't say put this game beyond doubt, but certainly double the trouble that Barcelona find themselves in here. And the whistles all around the Camp Nou. They can't believe what they're seeing here. Espanyol comfortably ahead in this game, and as you mentioned earlier, Bruno, looking closer to getting a second goal than they are to conceding.
That should have been 2-0. Victor Sanchez's touch was a little bit too heavy, but if he'd made his touch properly, it would have gone down towards Bravo, and I'm sure it would have been 2-0. But once again, Espanyol slicing Barcelona open on the counter-attack far too easily, especially thinking about this as a side mid-table 11th. They're not Spain's most prominent squad. And it's just all too easy for Espanyol against Barcelona on the counter-attack.
And Suarez out to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba with the cross, cleared at the near post by Álvaro González. A corner for Barcelona. Onside. And, well, just one of his touches was a little bit too heavy. The second or the third touch took him too close to Claudio Bravo, and good job Claudio Bravo got the ball, because if not, he would have been sent off. Here's Rakitic. Another corner goes completely they failed to take advantage of it.
Both players tangling. The man that goes to ground, as generally does happen in Spain, gets the free kick from the referee. But there's nothing in it. They're both holding on to each other.
Well, the possession stat hasn't changed, 74% for Barcelona, but the scoreline hasn't changed either. The Sergio Garcia goal is the difference between the two teams at the moment. Here's Mascherano. Xavi Hernandez. Piqué. Piqué forward to Dani Alves. Messi. 3 blue and white shirts around him. He finds Rakitic, who's in a bit of space, but Rakitic slow to release, and in the end releases it short to Alves. Now it's with Busquets out to Jordi Alba. Tries to find Alba with a return pass, but nothing really working for Barcelona. It's difficult to think of anyone in a Barcelona shirt that's done himself justice in this first half.
And it's been quite mediocre from Barcelona. Had the odd chance, the odd moment of magic from Messi with that ball to Alba. But apart from that, I don't think anyone will save themselves from the scrutiny of the Camp Nou crowd.
Well, we imagined they'll be whistled off at half-time when the half-time whistle blows. Here's Xavi Hernandez. Will have at least a minute to be added on, surely, because of the injury to Caicedo. Here's Salva Sevilla getting the ball away from Messi, but only as far as Rakitic. Now with Sergi Busquets. Out to Jordi Alba. It used to be that Barcelona's attacking fullbacks arrive unexpectedly as the extra man. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Messi shot, and they're back in the game, and Leo Messi, who else, finds the back of the net right on the stroke of half-time. I'm not sure they really deserve it, but they won't worry about that. It's Barcelona 1, Espanyol 1, and Leo Messi, from out of absolutely nothing really, bends one in, and Barca are level.
And what a devastating moment for Espanyol to concede. We'd reached the 45th minute. It's a whole different match going into the interval, 1-0 up than 1-1. But if anyone was going to get this back for Barcelona, it was Messi. And what a perfect shot right into the corner to put Barcelona back in it.
Well, it was Suarez, Alba and Xavi in the build-up, and Messi with the finish. And, well, his magic is covering a multitude of sins at the moment.
Having said that, I'm sure the Barca crowd won't let them get away with that first half, though, as much as Messi's goal was brilliant.
Interesting to see, won't it? Or interesting to hear, rather, whether they still whistle them off at the break, as I'm sure they were intending to do. We've now played the minute of added time. There goes the whistle. Controversial moment for the referee to blow as Victor Sanchez was on the break. And
well, half and half, it seems, the reaction from the crowd.
But Leo Messi's got to Barcelona back in this game. 13 minutes old when Sergio Garcia raced away to score. Espanyol have had an excellent first half. Barcelona have been pretty dreadful, but Leo Messi has scored, so it's all to play for in the second half. We'll be back for the second 45 minutes.